Good evening, everyone, and thanks so much for joining us. I'm Courtney Collins. This weekend marks the 6th anniversary of the start of the war in Iraq. For many, that means a time to look back. 4,260 servicemen and women have died across the country. Over 100,000 Iraqi civilians have been killed, and tens of thousands more soldiers and citizens have been injured. Taking into account next year's budget, the war has cost American taxpayers around $800 billion. In Little Rock today, some Arkansans took a look back and into the future. KARK4's Lauren Traeger has more in tonight's top story.
Scanning the horizon, dreary skies above.
It was a different scene than war protests of the previous years. Instead of shouting, singing, and speeches.
Yes, we can!
Every year since the war began in 2003, protesters in Arkansas have called for troop withdrawal and for a return to peace. Today, many of those same messages with a stark reminder. Part of today's rally was also to commemorate the lives lost during wartime. These boots represent the number of Arkansans, both civilians and soldiers, who have died during the war.
I'm looking at these names, and I mean, one's like 19 years old, and I'm thinking, gosh, you know, that's only a few years away.
Those at the rally say a time of change has come, but that doesn't mean their work is over.
We certainly must keep this new administration's feet to the fire. We must continue to remind them of the high values and principles which they promoted during the course of the campaign.
But I know it's time that we replace Humvees with hospitals, and replace bombs with books, and replace tanks with teachers.
And in times of economic insecurity, they say the cost of the war has come home.
When I look at our economy and when I see families struggling, when I see people within my own family struggling, it makes me very angry to think about the amount of money that has been spent for something that's not been successful.
Those here say as the U.S. exits Iraq and looks to Afghanistan, they have no plans to quit rallying for peace.
You got to look beyond the anger and look for the solution. And I think that's why I want my kids here, is to say that there are solutions.
In North Little Rock, Lauren Traeger, KARK 4 News.